I'm currently at the Westin in Anaheim, and in this video, I'll share with you my thoughts about its price and benefits for elites, the location of this hotel, the general amenities here, this suite, and then the club lounge. After that, I'll give you some final thoughts about this hotel, including how it compares to the nearby JW Marriott. So let's start off with the price. I typically see the Westin go for around $270 to just under $400 for one night. But sometimes a basic room here can cost more than that, especially if there is a major convention going on. If you wanted to book this hotel using points, it'll typically cost between 50,000 and 70,000 Marriott points. That means it's not really the best value for your Marriott points, but that's pretty typical of the Disneyland area. On paper, the Westin is usually the most expensive non-Disney hotel in the area, but it doesn't have a resort fee, unlike the nearby JW Marriott. If you have Marriott Platinum status or higher, then you'll have access to the Westin Club, which I'll show you later on in this video. Suite night awards can be used here, and that's how I confirmed myself into this one-bedroom suite that typically costs over $800 for one night. Using suite night awards here does seem to be quite popular, as I heard other people mentioning this in the lounge, and when I checked into the hotel, they actually wanted to put me in a one-bedroom suite on a higher floor, but the person there was utilizing their elite 4 p.m. checkout benefit, so the room wasn't ready yet. They offered to put me in a studio suite temporarily and then change me over to that bigger one-bedroom suite when it was available, but I said, let's not bother with that, just put me in a one-bedroom suite on a lower floor. One thing this hotel doesn't have is a check-in line for elite Marriott members, which is unfortunate because sometimes there is a little bit of a wait for the front desk. Now let's talk about the location. The Westin is just behind the Anaheim Convention Center, which makes it a good conference hotel. It's also just across the street from California Adventure, but it takes longer than you might expect to get to the main entrance. In my opinion, the best way to walk to the parks is to go left out the front entrance of the hotel and then turn right at Disneyland Drive. Once you reach the entrance of the Grand Californian, turn left and go across the street towards the Paradise Pier Hotel. In the future, this might become a Pixar-themed hotel. Once you get to the roundabout, turn right and keep walking till you see the security lines for Downtown Disney. Once you're past security, walk across Downtown Disney and you'll get to the park entrance. I timed this walk and it took me 23 minutes. If you add on the time for security and the fact that you might not be as familiar with the area as I am, then this could take you easily half an hour. If you're going to Disneyland Park, you can actually take the monorail to cut down on the walk through Downtown Disney. It's just not recommended to do this if you want to get on another ride first thing when the park opens, and you have to be aware that the monorail does close earlier than the rest of the park. Leaving the parks will take less time because from Downtown Disney, you can actually cut through the Grand Californian. Walking this way took me 17 minutes. It's even faster if you're leaving from California Adventure because you can get to the Grand Californian directly from the park. Based on my testing, someone who's familiar with the layout of the Disney parks and hotels should be able to leave when World of Color ends and get back to the Westin in under 15 minutes. If you're afraid of getting lost, then it's actually simpler if you just turn right when leaving the Westin and walk towards Harbor Boulevard, where you'll turn left and just walk all the way down to the main entrance. The lines for security does tend to be a little bit longer here in the morning though. If all of this walking sounds exhausting to you, then you can take the ART shuttle bus, which currently costs $6 per day. To get to the bus stop, just go out the front entrance of the hotel and turn left. You'll see it before you get to Disneyland Drive. Now I'll talk about the amenities here at the Westin. The pool is on the first floor, and around it there's a decent amount of lounge chair seating. If you want more comfortable seating, you can rent these cabanas that have a TV. Next to the pool, there's a bar area where you can get drinks and food, and here they actually have tables where you can sit down for a more proper meal. The hotel gym is nicer than what you'll find at most other hotels. Not only do they have all the equipment that you'll need for a workout, but they also have these hyper ice machines that you can use for a massage. as well as these towels that are kept at a cool temperature so you can use them to cool down after a workout. Of course, they also have a water station. If you need to do laundry, you can find that on the 8th floor, and it currently costs $3 that you pay by credit card. The rooftop bar here is a popular place for people to go and see the Disneyland fireworks. It can be a little bit difficult to get reservations on OpenTable, but if you're a hotel guest, then you don't have to actually bother with that, and they should be able to seat you relatively quickly. During my stay, the hotel also has some activities for kids. I didn't get to experience them, but according to the concierge, the 4 p.m. activity allows kids to taste food from different cultures, and the other activity is a little scavenger hunt where kids will look for certain art pieces that are around the hotel. Adults are able to join in on the morning walk around the hotel property. Now I'll show you around the suite. When you first enter the suite, you'll see a half bathroom which has a lighted mirror, vanity, and toilet. The living room is spacious and has lots of different seating. The couch even opens up into a sofa bed. On the counter, you'll find cups and an espresso machine. Underneath that, you'll find the drawer with the Nespresso pods and some tea. They also have a mini fridge with a transparent door that you can conveniently see inside of. Both the living room and the bedroom have their own balconies which aren't connected to each other. The patio furniture is a little bit different on each of them. Here next to the bed, we have this panel that can be used to control the lights. And we also have this, which is not just a clock, but also a wireless charger. On the other side of the bed, they provided this lavender scented balm. This is what it looks like inside of the 2 closets. I really appreciate that they put slippers here in the room because I've been to many decent places in the United States where I've called the front desk for them to bring me up some slippers, but they never showed up. Instead of having heavy bathrobes, they have this thin one that feels really nice, and the lights here do this. Now let's take a closer look at the master bathroom. Here next to the tub, we have this wall-mounted body wash, shampoo, and conditioner. There's also another set of them inside the shower. In between the 2 sinks, there's plastic and glass cups, body lotion, and mouthwash. If you open up the little cup in the back, you'll find a sanitary bag, nail file, cotton balls, and a sewing kit. If you're in the bathroom and you need some privacy from your companion who's in the bedroom, then what you can do is shut the sliding doors. Now I'll talk about the club lounge that you can get into if you have Marriott Platinum status or higher. One thing you should know is that they actually enforce the 2 guests per room policy during the evening hors d'oeuvres and morning breakfast. But when you check into the hotel, they'll ask you if you want an additional 1,000 points or if you want to bring an additional 2 other guests into the lounge for a total of 4 guests. During the day, the lounge had some caramel corn and cookies, as well as a variety of drinks. The texture and the taste of these snacks was actually really good. But what really impressed me most was the evening hors d'oeuvres. They had some vegetables, meat, cheese, and bread, as well as these appetizers, all of which tasted good. Unlike most other hotels in the United States, the lounge does have wine that's complimentary. For breakfast, they had some pastries, meat, cheese, and cereal. They didn't really have any hot food other than oatmeal and I guess toast. The cream cheese variety was really good though. The parfaits they had were made with Greek yogurt, and the juice was better than what you get at most other places as well. It's definitely a high quality continental breakfast. At night, I came back up to the lounge to watch the Disney night shows. You can't really see World of Color because it's blocked by the Incredicoaster, but you can see the fireworks. Part of it is covered up by the Incredicoaster though. The rooftop bar is actually on the other side of the hotel, and I think that one has a slightly better angle. I'm now back at home and going to let you know how the Westin compares to other higher end hotels in the Disneyland area. I've been in the villas at the Grand Californian, and I've also stayed at the Disneyland Hotel, but the rooms at the Westin are the most luxurious. Even if the Disney hotels weren't more expensive than the Westin, I'd still prefer to stay at the Westin, but I do understand that some people care more about things like the Disney theming, proximity to the parks, and the water slides than I do. The main competitor to the Westin is the JW Marriott, and I've stayed there as well. I prefer the location of that hotel, and they also have better amenities. For example, the poolside seating there is nicer, and they have some activities for adults such as wine tasting in the afternoon. But the Westin wins when it comes to the quality of the rooms and the treatment of Marriott elites. I managed to get upgraded to a suite at the Westin, but I was given no upgrade at the JW Marriott. Additionally, the evening spread in the lounge at the Westin is way better than what you would get at the JW Marriott. But I do understand that if you're going to be in the theme parks all day, you might not care about the evening spread in the lounge and care more about what you would have as breakfast. Unfortunately, the Westin doesn't let elites use their welcome amenity for breakfast in the hotel restaurant, and the breakfast they have in the club lounge is not quite as substantial as what I had at the JW Marriott. I will have a review of the JW Marriott that will appear on screen, but if it's not out yet, you can hit the subscribe button and notification icon if you want to know when it comes out, or you can check out my reviews of other hotels in the Disneyland area by clicking the playlist on screen.